Tonight on Tom's River Schools Today, we'll take a look at your upcoming weather.
And as always, we have a look at some of the events from around the district. Tom's River Schools Today starts in 2 minutes.
They could care less as long as someone will bleed. So darken your clothes or strike a violence. Maybe it'll lead you alone, but not me. The boys and girls in the clique, the awful names at the stick. You're never gonna fit in much, kid. But if you're troubled and hurt, what you got under your shirt will make them pay for the things that they did.
Hello and welcome to Tom's River Schools Today for Friday, January 24th. I'm Nicole Platten.
I'm Jessica Weltman. Later on tonight, we will check out your weather and we look into one special teacher's classroom.
But up first, tonight we take a look at our elementary schools in our Elementary Happening segment.
Starting off our elementary happenings, check in with your main office to see about any upcoming shows.
A mother in Wisconsin says her 9-year-old daughter was suspended from school because of her hair color. That was a dress code violation, according to a school handbook. But as Hillary Mintz reports from Racine, the woman says the school did not give her daughter a fair warning.
She came to me crying. She came to me crying because this is a hairstyle she picked.
Jaleesa Taylor says Tuesday, school officials at Hope Christian Schools in Racine gave her 9-year-old daughter an in-school suspension because of her blue braids.
Like this, just one big braid going in a circle with a little color to it. And now they want us, it's a distraction. Don't wear your hair like that.
She says this isn't the first time her daughter's worn colors in her hair to school. Taylor also has sent her older daughter to school the same way. But Mom says it's the first time one of her kids has been punished for it.
Did you ever get a phone call or an email?
Nope, not a text, not a nothing.
In the discipline note sent home Tuesday, it states the uniform violation was hair color and says girls can only wear solid blue, black, gray, or white headbands.
If she returned with the same hairdo, she was going to be suspended. I had changed her hair twice. Still no call, like let me know something. I don't want my baby to be missing out because of her hair color.
Who doesn't love ice cream? But if you literally want to see love of ice cream at first sight, not to mention first taste, check out this baby video gone massively viral. CNN's Jean Moose reports on the ecstasy of ice cream.
Do you remember your first time?
That was the first ice cream that she ever tasted.
What a scoop for a 9-month-old. It was Blakely Rose Jernigan's first taste of ice cream and first taste of viral fame. The bug eyes and the grabby hands were the clinchers. Typical for her Spitfire daughter, says Mom.
Yeah, she's very expressive. She makes the cutest little scrunchy smiles. She's so silly.
Famous worldwide now, adorable in any language. Get yourself someone who looks at you the way this baby looks at ice cream. To be exact,
A perfect blend of vanilla and chocolate ice cream with a caramel ribbon.
Baskin-Robbins proudly posted, "Too cute." Just think, this California girl could grow up to be vice president.
My name is Joe Biden, and I love ice cream.
Or even president. Remember how, at the dessert course, President Trump gets 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream with his chocolate cream pie instead of the single scoop for everyone else?
2 scoops. 2 scoops for me, please.
Ice cream-loving Blakely is sort of the opposite of this pickle-hating kid, with his contorted face followed by a physical cringe, not to mention pickle juice running down the chest. You're looking at the sweet and the sour of life. The sweet is definitely worth a second bite. Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
Let's take a look at today's random fact of the day.
Hi, I'm Carly Lambusta from TV21's Random Fact of the Day. Did you know the character of Optimus Prime on the popular 1980s animated television series Transformers was originally written to speak with a Jamaican accent?
It's time to take a trip around the world in our 60-second road trip. Can you guess where we are today?
It's now time for us to take a look at the dictionary.com's word of the day. Today's word is autodidact, meaning a person who has learned a subject without the benefit of a teacher or formal education, a self-taught person. And now for today's sentence. After moving to the rural village of the Congo, the autodidact learned math and science due to the only school being over 100 miles away.
It's
not going
there. But coming up, we take a look at our intermediate happenings.
And we also take a look at your weather, so stick around, we'll be right back.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction. Oh, beautiful release. Memories seep through my veins. Let me be empty. Oh, weightless, and maybe I'll find some peace tonight. In the arms of the angel, fly away.
intermediate happenings at Intermediate North, the PTO will be selling popcorn on Friday, January 17th during lunches for $1.
Reminder, we are still collecting coats for our coat drive. Please drop them off in the box located in the main entrance hallway.
One dog who started his sled racing career with a bang suffered a series of setbacks that left him totally blind. But he responded, oh my God, I can't see this, refused to sit on the sidelines, and the husky named Indy is living up to his name. Reese Lindwest has the story. End quest. Oh boy.
Musher Frank Moe has 43 dogs on his property. 28 of them are in training. And none of them are quite like this 7-year-old Alaskan Husky.
We were really grateful to have him, and Indy became a star almost right away. In fact, he finished the Bear Grease Marathon when he was 2.
Fast forward to the summer of 2016, the prodigy lost one of his eyes to a rare disease known as lens luxation, nearly putting his racing career in jeopardy.
We still ran him, but then he lost the sight in the other eye too, and it took him about a year to get used to being totally blind.
Because of his high energy and other heightened senses, sitting the races out wasn't an option.
We couldn't just not run him. You know, he was very upset clearly when the other dogs would take off, for a training run.
And despite his visual limitations, Indy is just like any other dog.
They're more than our pets, they're our teammates. And he had such beautiful blue eyes and was such an incredible dog and loved to run. And we were personally upset, obviously, but we were really upset for him.
After years of training to get him back into the racing flow, including practicing with the older dogs and running in smaller races, Indy is now ready to mush in bear grease again, even without his sight.
This year we started training him just like he was going to be one of the marathon racing dogs. And he looked great. In fact, he looked almost as good as he was as a 2-year-old, pretty close. In fact, he was one of the best dogs in the team.
With a slew of injuries to his sled dog team, Moe decided not to run in the Bear Grease 300. Instead, he and his 8-dog team opted for the mid-distance Bear Grease 120, with Indy in the wheel position.
He was happy and wagging his tail. He was ready to go again.
So for Indy, the dog that almost didn't race again has become an inspiration for dogs of all shapes and sizes affected by the same disease.
To know that their dog is going to continue to improve. It's like he was saying, Dad, I'm back.
It is now time for our environmental tip of the day. Each day we will bring a tip that will help save the environment. Let's take a look at today's tip.
Hi, I'm Allie, and this is your environmental tip of the day. In the morning, brew certified coffee, a USDA certified organic label means it was grown using sustainable standards.
Every day on the show, we will be bringing you a tip of the day, so stay tuned tomorrow as we give you another way to help save the environment.
An avalanche in Newfoundland hit a house so forcefully it smashed the windows and left 3 feet of snow on the living room floor. Chris O'Neill Yates reports from the Outer Battery area of St. John's.
The height of the storm on Friday night, here at this residence in the Battery neighborhood of St. John's, you can see it's surrounded by cliffs, and on the top here is Signal Hill of St. John's. So the snow came down on this hill right here. It came down off the cliff and lodged behind this house. It's an avalanche that pushed through the window. It pushed the window out, and it pushed 3 feet of snow onto the floor of the dwelling. The owner of the house came running to see what was going on after she heard a crack.
Shortly after that, everybody knew there'd been an avalanche on the Battery. So Isabel and Chris and I were shoveling snow out the door, and I phoned our neighbors and said, look, can you come and help? And about an hour later, we heard voices, and it was the firemen, and they were yelling at our neighbors to go back in.
They appeared like 3 abominable snowmen, I mean, in the living gale, and they had to park their vehicle down about half a mile away practically, and they walked in through waist-deep snow in that terrific storm and appeared at the bottom of our steps covered in snow and with shovels. And they saw what happened, checked us out, and started shoveling. So, I mean, basically they and us shoveled out the living room.
Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Right now, they're going to have to figure out what to do to repair the damage. They don't know if they're covered by insurance. They don't have any qualms about continuing to live here. There was an avalanche here in 1959 that killed 5 people, but owner Chris Brooks says people have to go somehow. He loves this place. He's lived here for 35 years, and he's got no intentions of moving. Chris O'Neill Yates, CBC News, St. John's.
It is now time for another break. Coming up later in the show, we will take a look at your high school happenings.
Tom's River Schools Today will be right back.
I like to talk.
But the butcher don't care if you live or if you die. But I've never touched nothing that my spirit could kill. You know, I've seen a lot of people walking around with tombstones in their eyes.
Starting off our high school happenings, attention students and staff. The school store is now open to serve you. We are stocked with all your Raider apparel needs, including Champion and Under Armour brands. The school store is open every day after school from 1:40 to 2 p.m. We also have your Yoo-Hoo, Snapple, and water for $1, as well as many delicious snacks to get you energized for your after-school practices. Stop in soon. It's time to get Raiderized.
Also at High School East, obligation forms are available in the main office. You must have your completed obligation form in order to purchase your bid. Bids will go on sale on Tuesday, January 21st in the bagel booth after school. The cost per couple is $70 and a single bid is $35. Completed bid paperwork must be completed and returned to the bagel booth by Friday, January 31st. Let's continue our look at amazing teachers here at High School East. Today we stop in with Miss Daniel, an English teacher here at the home of the Raiders.
I'm Cassie Trinicosti for Tom's River Schools Today. Did you know Mr. Romano graduated from High School East? Let's take a look inside his classroom.
I went to OCC for 2 years, got my associates, and then I went to Kane Ocean and finished with my bachelor's. I decided to go there after OCC because they brought their math program down to Oceans campus, so I was able to save money because I didn't have to pay to stay at Keene. When I was a freshman in college, well, I was always pretty good at it in high school. So then when I was a freshman in college, I started tutoring my mom's boss's son, who was in 8th grade. And I realized while I was tutoring him, I was able to explain it in a way where he was understanding it as opposed to the way his teacher was explaining it. So I decided to pursue it because I was good at. In high school, my geometry teacher, Ms. Ruzga, I guess saw something in me where she knew that I was good skill-wise with the math, so she would always kind of challenge me to perform at a higher level, which I guess gave me the confidence to be able to pursue it as a career. I guess systems of equations and 3 variables. The problems kind of take a long time to get through, and it's very tedious, but doing it with the kids, they see like a self-accomplishment when they get to the answer because it is such a long problem that it's like satisfying at the end if you get the question right. So I like doing those with them. I coach freshman boys soccer. I'm a part of the Raiders Helping Raiders mentor program, and I'm also the class of 2023 advisor, freshman class. I played high school soccer here at East, so when I got back into teaching and was here, I reached out and wanted to be part of the program that I had played for, to be able to instill the passion and love that I have for the game in young athletes that are coming up through the program. Definitely a lot of work. Sometimes I'm here till 8 o'clock working events or staying after school or whatever it may be. But it's nice to see the students outside the classroom involved in things that they like to do, and seeing them at events and like dances and stuff is nice to see them getting involved, and I think they enjoy seeing me at those things too, so it's nice to be there. It's just growing as a professional as each year passes. You kind of try things out when you're brand new, and if things don't work, kind of reflecting on yourself and being able to change that for years to come, and just always growing as a professional and learning from mistakes and being able to reflect on yourself and change things that may or may not work and try new things out. And yeah.
Mr. Romano is an amazing part of High School East. For Tom's River Schools Today, I'm Cassie Tranacasti.
It is now time for us to take a short break. After the break, we take a look at your 3-day forecast.
Tom's River Schools Today will be right back.
In the hotel lobby, seems to me like I'm just scared of never feeling it again. But I know it's crazy to believe in silly things, but it's not that easy. I remember it now, it takes me back to when it all first started. But I've only got myself to blame for it, and I accept it now. It's time to let it go out and start again. But it's not that easy. But I've got high hopes. It takes me back to when we started. High hopes when you let it go.
Wrapping up tonight's show, the cold snap in North Carolina is stunning dozens of turtles. Nearly 100 were washed ashore after floating in the frigid waters. Rescuers are working fast to get the turtles to safety. Chelsea Donovan has the details.
It's a sad sight to see turtles on the southern Outer Banks surrounded by frost, stopped in their tracks.
We have to get them off the shore side as quickly as possible and into a controlled environment.
Over the past 2 days, volunteers with the Hatteras Island Wildlife Rehabilitation near Buxton have been feverishly retrieving green and Kemp's Ridley turtles cold stunned by the recent drop in temperatures.
When the water temperatures start to drop, they are not able to handle that. So essentially their system starts to shut down, and they'll end up floating along the surface and washing into the beaches.
The nonprofit rescued 91 turtles alone on Tuesday, something Chelsea Witherup, stranding tech with the Virginia Aquarium, knows is time sensitive.
Usually below 65 is when we start becoming concerned.
Witherup says the water is warmer farther north than it used to be, so the turtles follow that warm trend in search of food and ultimately get stuck in a cold snap.
They didn't get the memo that they need to go farther south before the weather gets bad.
Once the turtles are rescued, they're quickly warmed up and taken to a stranding center like this one here in Virginia Beach. They'll undergo a whole host of tests before hopefully being back in the water within 6 months to a year.
And there are very few things that individuals can do where they really make a difference. But this is one place we can.
Volunteers braving the frigid weather to make sure these turtles, many threatened, get a second chance at life.
Remember, if you have a story you would like us to cover,
or if you have an announcement about an upcoming event, please send it interschool mail to the TV studio at High School East, or you can email us at tv21@trschools.com.
Also, be sure to tune in to TV21 throughout the day to catch this show as we bring you stories from around the district. Also, please take a look at our website, www.trschools.com, TV21.
Well, that wraps up tonight's show. For Toms River Schools Today, I'm Jessica Weltman.
And I'm Nicole Platten. Have a great night.